Hi, I'm going to walk you through the customer section of the ICK reseller control panel. By default, it's not a mandatory step, unless you are using any of the telecom facilities. So for those customers who simply use the platform for hosting and broadband, you don't necessarily have to follow this step. However, there are advantages to doing so. The customer section has two main functions. One is to ensure that you have a reference point of who your customers are and how to contact them. And that will also become clearer in later versions of the control panel as to why that's important. It also allows you, your customers, to log into the control panel and ensure you have the latest up-to-date details for them, i.e. the latest contact phone number or address details. The second main function of the client control panel or customer section is to ensure you can map multiple hosting, broadband and telecom facilities to that single customer. That not only makes it a lot easier to manage for yourself, but it also provides a single login interface for your customer, so it's a lot easier for them to manage. As you can imagine, this looks a lot more professional than having lots of separate control panels, maybe with their own look and feel, whereas this is just a single interface which could be branded using our HTML template engine. So the whole look and feel can actually mimic your own website. You can include your own colours and styles and images. It's extremely powerful. Looking to the future, the control panel will allow you the ability to generate invoices. Those invoices will be accessible to your customer via the control panel. We will also be using it to provide you a better means of communicating with your customers, depending on the services they have or haven't necessarily got with you. For example, you could use it for sales purposes, so you may like to contact all the customers that don't have spam filtering enabled and notify them about this service. Or you can use it for service status announcements. For example, if there was a problem with the spam filter platform or broadband platform, you could just send out messages to those customers that have got those associated services. Hopefully you can begin to see why this can actually be an extremely powerful aspect of the reseller control panel and why it's important to enter correct and valid details. Any of the details you enter are for your own use. They will not be used by ICK in any shape or form. To start, you need to create a customer. So if you hover over customers and add customers, you'll be taken to this section. As you can see, I've already started filling in the details of the customer contact information. I also want to make use of these same details as a billing contact, so I tick this box. However, I can also enter in independent details if the billing contact for this customer is completely different. Next, I can create a domain contact. This makes registering domain names in the future a lot easier. And from the drop-down list, you'll see the customer already listed, so it saves you entering it in again. Additional information, you can put all sorts of information relating to your customer, perhaps specific needs, specific contact information, times of opening hours, all sorts. And lastly, you're given the opportunity of allowing them access to a client control panel. You can either choose to enable it straight away, or you can set it up at a later date. In this instance, I'm going to create one straight away. This is the username and password that the client would use to log into their control panel, and they will be able to see all the associated services that I map to them. Okay, now that I've created the customer, I'm happy with that. I'm now going to go to the customers list. Once a customer has been created, and there you can see it's been created, they've got 0 accounts and 0 numbers associated. When you go to order telecom services, you are asked by default what customer you would like to map the number to, and the number will automatically be associated. However, as I said, with broadband and hosting accounts, it's an optional process. If you now want to map an existing hosting or broadband account to a customer, you simply click on the green icon here. This will ask you what hosting account or broadband account you would like to map to the customer. You'll be asked a friendly name. A friendly name is basically for your reference, so it's the type of account that it is. For example, you may have bronze, silver, gold hosting. So let's enter this as a bronze hosting account. The renewal date is going to be the 1st of the 1st 2011, and the plan value is going to be £100. I'm going to bill him annually. And what happens is that on that renewal date, or before that renewal date, you as a reseller are sent advance warning emails letting you know that hosting plan is due for renewal. It's your responsibility to contact the customer and ask them if they wanted to have it renewed. Once you're happy with that, click Assign Plan to Customer. So we now go back to the customers list. You will see that this customer now has one account associated to it. The only other thing worth mentioning is the ability to edit the customer. So if you click on this icon beside the customer, you will see all the details we entered in earlier, and you can update those at any time. This now concludes the tutorial.